Two men shook hands in Moscow on August 23, 1939. Within a week, Poland was invaded. Within 6 years, 80 million people were dead. The handshake was between Nazi Germany's foreign minister and Stalin's right-hand man. What they agreed to in that room rewrote the rules of World War II before it even started. This is the story of the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, the secret deal that carved up Europe and set the stage for humanity's deadliest conflict. Nazi Germany and Soviet Russia were supposed to be mortal enemies. Hitler had spent years screaming about the communist threat. Stalin had watched fascism rise across Europe with growing alarm. Their ideologies were incompatible. Their propaganda machines painted each other as evil incarnate. Yet both leaders faced the same problem in 1939. Germany needed to avoid a two-front war. Russia needed time to prepare for what seemed like an inevitable German invasion. Logic said they should destroy each other. Survival said they should make a deal. The world knew about the public non-aggression pact. Germany and the Soviet Union agreed not to attack each other. Diplomats called it surprising but rational. What the world didn't know was the secret protocol attached to that agreement. While cameras flashed and champagne was poured, a separate document was signed behind closed doors. This protocol contained a map. On that map, Europe was divided into spheres of influence. Poland was split down the middle. The Baltic states were assigned to Soviet control. Parts of Romania were marked for future Soviet annexation. 9 days after the pact was signed, German tanks rolled into Poland from the west. The world expected this. Britain and France declared war on Germany. What shocked everyone came 16 days later. Soviet forces invaded Poland from the east. The Polish military was fighting a two-front war it never saw coming. Within weeks, Poland ceased to exist as an independent nation. The secret protocol was being executed exactly as planned. Millions of Poles found themselves under either Nazi or Soviet occupation. Stalin wasted no time claiming his share of the deal. The Baltic states of Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania were pressured into allowing Soviet military bases on their soil. By 1940, all three were fully annexed into the Soviet Union. Finland refused similar demands and was invaded in the Winter War. Romania was forced to hand over Bessarabia and northern Bukovina. The Soviet Union expanded westward by hundreds of miles, swallowing millions of people who had no say in their fate. Every move was backed by the secret agreement with Hitler. The pact bought Hitler exactly what he needed: time and security. With his eastern border secure, he conquered France, Norway, Denmark, Belgium, and the Netherlands. Britain stood alone. Stalin continued shipping vital resources to Germany, including oil, grain, and raw materials. Soviet trains delivered supplies right up until June 22, 1941. On that morning, 3 million German soldiers crossed the Soviet border in Operation Barbarossa. The largest invasion in human history had begun. The handshake deal was dead. The German invasion caught Soviet forces completely unprepared despite numerous warnings. Stalin had ignored intelligence reports, believing Hitler would honor their agreement. The initial German advance was devastating. Millions of Soviet soldiers were captured or killed in the first months. Cities burned, civilians fled. The Nazi plan was annihilation, not occupation. The war that followed on the Eastern Front became the deadliest theater of World War II. 27 million Soviet citizens would die before it ended. The Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact didn't just delay war, it enabled atrocities on both sides. In Soviet-occupied Poland, the NKVD executed over 20,000 Polish officers, intellectuals and prisoners in the Katyn massacre. Mass deportations sent hundreds of thousands to Siberian labor camps. In German-occupied Poland, the Holocaust machinery began its work. Jews were herded into ghettos. Concentration camps were constructed. The pact had given both regimes time and territory to commit their worst crimes against humanity. For 50 years, the Soviet Union denied the secret protocol ever existed. The Kremlin called it Western propaganda. Soviet historians wrote the pact off as a necessary defensive measure. Occupied nations were told they had voluntarily joined the USSR. The original document with Stalin's signature remained hidden in Soviet archives. Only in 1989, as the Soviet Union crumbled, did Mikhail Gorbachev finally admit the truth. The secret protocol was real. The carve-up of Eastern Europe had been planned from the beginning. The borders drawn by that handshake still shape Europe today. The Baltic states regained independence only in 1991. Poland's borders shifted westward, displacing millions. Entire populations were moved or destroyed. The trauma of dual occupation, Nazi and Soviet, remains embedded in Eastern European memory. When Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, many saw echoes of 1939, a larger power claiming spheres of influence and redrawing maps by force. The handshake that was supposed to prevent war instead guaranteed the deadliest conflict in human history. Two men shook hands and 80 million people paid the price. The Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact proves that secret deals between dictators never stay secret and always end in blood. If this story changed how you see World War II, hit that subscribe button. Next week, we're covering the one weapon that almost won the war for Germany but was abandoned too early. See you then.